good evening, my student. How we finish with the agreements, number agreements, pronoun agreements, and tense agreements, person agreements. Now we are going to tackle with challenges in pronoun agreements. Sometimes it can be difficult to ensure that you are using the correct pronouns. The challenge is making sure you know which word is antecedent. Challenge 1. Interrupting phrases. How people do to interrupt phrases. Indeed, try not to get distracted by phrases that come between the antecedent and the pronouns. For instance, Jeremy, one of the waiters, dropped his tray. This is a sentence. Jeremy, one of the waiters, dropped his tray. His tray. Here, Jeremy refers to his, but waiters refers to their. Don't use the plural pronoun there if Jeremy was only waiter who dropped his tray. Because Jeremy is a singular. He's a person who is speaking to himself. But there are so many waiters. As the waiters, they refer to waiters in the sentence. Or Jeremy dropped his tray. But not only Jeremy who dropped his tray. But not everyone. Not all the waiters. Only Jeremy himself. So cross out the interrupting phrase to make sure you find the correct antecedent. Look at the sentence. Jeremy, one of the waiters, dropped his tray. Jeremy, one of the waiters, dropped his tray. This is the first challenge. Now, as for the second challenge, when the reference is unclear, it means that it is not clear. Usually, the pronoun refers to the last noun mentioned or the last subject, but sometimes it is unclear which noun is the antecedent. Some textbook calls this ambiguous pronouns reference. If using a pronoun could cause a misunderstanding, it is better to use the noun instant. So here is some tables or some chart to make some differences, unclear pronouns and correction. The sentence, John and Morris went to work. She was late. Look at deeply this, or you think deeply these sentences. John and Morris went to work. She was late. Here, this is correct. This is unclear pronoun. It's unclear. Correction. Look at which one was late. The pronoun she could refer to either John or Morris. It is not referring to anyone, not John or Morris. So it is better to use the name instead of the pronoun. John and Marcy went to work. Marcy was late. Of course. Or use only for Marcy. John and Marcy went to work. John was late. Of course, you say. Either you say Marcy or John. But not you don't say John and Marcy went to work. Or you say, and after you say she was late. No, this sentence is incorrect. Because they are plural. It refers to two names, both names. This is the first sentence. Examples. The second one, my father was just like his grandfather. But he was not as tall. He is also unclear. This sentence is also unclear. But no one knows if he refers to father or grandfather. This is incorrect. Look at the correction. Who was not as tall? He could refer to either father or grandfather? No. My father was just like my grandfather, but my father was not as tall. Of course, your father was like your grandfather because they are different. Your father was not tall like your grandfather. Student, also remember, ambiguous pronouns occurs. Ambiguous pronoun reference occurs often when you write because in your imagination you can clearly see whom you are writing about. Be careful. Have a friend read your essay for you, paying special attention to the pronouns. Dear students, pronoun shift. This is the third challenge. Challenge 3. Pronoun shift. It means the pronoun may change. Shift means change. Make sure you don't change from first or third person to second person or vice versa. In other words, don't switch pronouns midway through your sentence. If you start with the first person bracket, we singular, we plural, so on, or third person, she singular, they plural, stick with it. One important cause of pronoun shift is the use of the indefinite you, which is an informal way to talk about others. Second sentence, you take a driving test when you want to get your license. You take a driving test when you want to get your license. In this sentence, you is actually a stand-in for people. What you really mean is that, in general, people take a driving test when they want to get their license. Of course. This is a very big one. People want to get a driving test when they want to get their license first. You have to get your driving. When using the indefinite you, a pronoun shift is an easy mistake to make. Yes. So, many people start their sentences in first or third person and suddenly switch to the indefinite you. The reverse can also happen. The chart below will help you identify a pronoun shift and show you some easy way to fix them. Note that when people talk to each other, it is easier and more personal to use the indefinite you than to use the word people. While using the indefinite you is fine for informal speech, it is not appropriate in formal writing. When you write, don't use you instead of unless you mean the reader. Means the reader. Don't use you unless you mean the reader. Of course. Here is the chart. Pronoun shift. We have the first, the second and third. First refer to second refer to third refer to second. Now let's give some illustration of within the sentence. We went to the top of the seas tower where you could see the entire city of Chicago. America. In this sentence, there is some mistakes. You have to correct. The sentence is ungrammatical. Let's look at the second sentence. We went to the top of the seas tower where you could see the entire city of Chicago. Of course, we could see the entire city. Not where. The speaker mitigates some words in the sentence. Second, when you go to the movies, people can buy their ticket in advance. In advance, of course. When you go to the movies, you can buy your ticket in advance. Or when people go to the movies, they can buy their ticket in advance. Here they make differences between you and they, and between you and people. First of all, they use you when you go to the movies. It means that when you go to the movies, or when people go to the movies, they can buy their tickets in advance. This is the second pronoun shift. Third pronoun shift, a police officer has a dangerous job because you often put your life at risk. A policeman is putting his life at risk. In this sentence, a police officer has a dangerous job because he or she often put his or her life at risk. If you don't think of, or if you think this phrasing sound awkward, you are not alone. Although using he or she avoid gender-based language, it often results in strange sounding sentences. The better option is to make your sentence plural. Let's take the same examples. Police officers have a dangerous job because they often put their life at risk. Police officers, they often put their life at risk. There is the third one. You have to make a differentiation between the police officers and they. They refer to the police officers because police officers, they put S in the plural form. They refer to S in the third personal singular, plural. That's why, dear students, this is a very easy way. As for the challenges in pronoun shift, all the pronouns are shift from the first, the second, and the third. They are shift. It's very easy also to know what are the arrangement of pronoun within a sentence. That's why, dear students, I thank everybody. This course is only for you, to make your English very good. All the best, my dear students.